Hello world! Today I've got part one of a two-part collab that is sort of a wish list and an anti-haul. Hey everybody, Shelly here, and today I've got part one of a two-part collaboration with a bunch of excellent beauty bloggers on YouTube here. We've got Angel's Glamour Gossip and All That Beauty with Lori and Sherry Nicholson and Rose's Beauty and too many to mention. There are like a dozen of us doing this collaboration, and I will link everybody down below in the down bar, so please go check out these other awesome YouTubers. And this collaboration is in two parts. So the first part is a sort of wish list, 5 things that I wish I owned, I don't yet own, why I don't own it, will I own it in the future, that kind of a thing. And the second video part of the collab will be an anti-haul, 5 things that I don't own and I don't intend to purchase and why. So I'm going to kick this off with the positive side of things and give you my 5 things that I don't currently have but I wish I did. So let's get into this. So the first item on my don't currently own it but wish I did list is the Wayne Goss brush set, the anniversary brush set that was just re-released. And the obvious reason why I don't own it yet is that it is $225 for makeup brushes. Now, the second reason I don't own it yet is because I've asked Santa to bring it to me, and I'm really hoping that happens. So if Santa does not bring it to me, there is a possibility that somehow, some way in the future, I will own it myself and purchase it. But I'm really hoping that Santa thinks I was good this year. Now, the brush set is a collection of 8 different brushes from Wayne Goss. The brush number 1 has been redesigned for this re-release of the anniversary set. It's a limited edition. It's a cruelty-free brush line. They're handcrafted brushes. Everything I've ever heard about them is that they're amazing and they're just fantastic and holy cow. So it's one of those things where I like to ask for things for Christmas that I really wouldn't buy for myself, whether it's something I feel is like too extravagant, too much money to splurge on something like that, like makeup brushes. I mean, really. However, I rationalize that I would use them every single day, and that seems valuable. So I don't own that brush set yet. I think Wayne Goss I love his videos, I love his advice, I think he's straight up, and I think he's a great makeup artist, and I just thoroughly enjoy him, and I want to support his independent business. It's a business he runs on his own. He's developed all of the brush products himself, and I'm into that. So that's number 1 on my list of things that I wish I had, and I might someday have. Number 2 is a face cleanser, actually. It's from Dr. Brandt, and it is the Pore Dermabrasion Cleanser. Now, I had a sample of that cleanser from one of my Ipsy or Birchbox, one of those, and loved it. And it seemed to have immediate results at shrinking the appearance of my pores, which is something that I'm very concerned about. And when I ran out of my sample, I intended to run right out and buy it. And the full size is $68. Okay, so money is going to have something to do with most of the things on my wish I had it but don't have it yet list, because I'm a teacher. I don't make a ton of money. I'm a typical middle class-ish kind of income, and $68 for cleanser. I mean, at least an eyeshadow palette that you pay $60+ for, you're going to get a couple years use out of it. At least I will. I don't go through them that quickly. But cleanser is not going to last me that long. So my daily price of something like that, I have to admit, I went to CVS. I found something that seemed to have similar claims from Neutrogena that cost $12, and so far I actually think it's working quite similar. So that's on my list. I have not bought it. I might still buy it someday if I run into $68 burning a hole in my pocket, but not yet. Next up on my wish list, another thing that has so far just been too much money for me to spend on an item like this, but it's going to happen someday because I'm super curious about these, and that is the Glam Glow mud masks. There's a couple of them that really intrigued me. Let's see, one of them is called the Hydrating, Thirsty Mud Hydrating Treatment, and then another one is called Gravity Mud Firming Treatment. The packaging is beautiful, the masks look beautiful, everything I've read and heard and seen is that they work amazingly. They're in the ballpark of $60+ for the jar of mask, and that's a lot of money for a mask that I'm going to use really quickly. Now, I have to admit, I have spent a lot of money on a mask before. I own and love the Charlotte Tilbury, what do they call it? Goddess Skin, the Charlotte Tilbury Goddess Skin Clay Mask. That was in the same price range, and I'm going to go through it just as quickly as I would probably these Glam Glow masks, but I had a sample of that I was able to try 3 times before I spent the money. And these Glam Glow masks, I've never had a sample, so it's hard for me to pull the trigger on something like that when I have never tried it to know or at least have an inkling of whether I would like it or not. But that is on my wish list. It's something that I really do want to try. I really think someday I will. It has been in my Sephora loves for quite some time, and I just have not yet purchased it, but it is on the list of something that might happen one of these days. Next up is something I've had in my Sephora loves since I started looking at and purchasing prestige makeup brands, and that is the Laura Mercier Artist's eyeshadow palette. Now, it's a $55 palette, which is not really bad compared to the other palettes I got Kat Von D's Metal Matte palette, didn't think twice. Urban Decay palettes, I've got the full spectrum. I have a bunch of Urban Decay palettes. And I have other Laura Mercier products that I like, so it's not like I'm, iffy about the brand. I don't know why I haven't pulled the trigger on this one. I think it is because you look at the reviews, right? And it's got a 4+ star rating on Sephora's website, but the first few that show up are 1-star reviews that are like, it's not pigmented, it doesn't stay, it doesn't have very long wear, even with primer, blah, blah, blah. And you get those voices in your head that say, oh, this is too much money to spend on something that might be terrible. And it can't be terrible because there's so many reviews that say it's an excellent product. The colors really speak to me. I have literally wanted it since February, and I haven't bought it. And I'm letting a few negative reviews get into my head. And I don't even know why, because Sephora has an excellent return policy. So if I get it and I don't think it's great, I can return it. But I still haven't bought it yet. So I don't know what the deal is there, but it is something that I've thought about a lot and I really would like to purchase one of these days. And so it probably will happen. I haven't bought it yet. It's not that it's too expensive. It's really just that the reviews have dissuaded me and I just haven't done it. The last thing on my wish list, and this is actually now moved into regret, it's the Natasha Denona Star eyeshadow palette. Why is it a regret? Well, it's a wish list item because it's a $169 eyeshadow palette. What? Way over my pay grade, okay? But the Sephora VIB Rouge sale was going on. I could have gotten 20% off of it. And when you do the math with how much product you're getting per eyeshadow and you divide that into how much you would have paid, especially at 20% off, it's really not a bad value. So I kind of regret that I did not order it. I talked myself out of it just due to sheer sticker shock. I have never owned another Natasha Denona product, so I don't have any experience with them. Again, Sephora has a great return policy. Why? I should have done it. I didn't do it. Now I regret it. And now I probably won't buy it because in my head I'm going to say, well, if I can't get it for $30 off, then I'm not going to pay that much money for it. So I probably accidentally sort of talked my way out of that by missing it in the VIB Rouge sale. But I've seen several people review it and it looks amazing, and I really have serious regret that I did not buy it at the VIB sale. But it looks amazing, and if you've got it, please tell me how wonderful it is, because I actually want to know what I'm missing so that I may plan for future and maybe buy it someday, somehow, some way. But yeah, way over my pay grade, and regret. I should have picked it up. So those are my 5 wish list items and why I don't own them. I might own 1 or more of them in the future, and hopefully they would become my favorites, and then you'll see them in a future favorites and fails video. But until then, I will just have to continue pining over these wonderful, wonderful sounding products that I've had my eye on for a while now, and just hope that someday I can work them into my life. So if you would like to see more of these type of videos, please tell me that you liked this one. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Then you'll get notifications if I make a favorites or fails video on any of these things. Check out all of the collaborators that are doing this series down below. I will have another video coming up very soon on my anti-haul, the 5 items I don't own and don't intend to purchase, and why, coming up next. So thanks a lot for hanging out and geeking out over makeup with me for a little bit. I appreciate your time. Take care of each other and have an awesome day or night anywhere in the world where you happen to be. Take care. Bye-bye.